ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगीव यस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो हरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Page 43, Karika 9. Bhogartham srushtirithanye kridarthamiti cha. Karika 8, page number 42. Ichha matram prabho srushtihi iti sruštau vinishchitaha kalat prasutim bhutanam manyante kalachintakaha. So, we are discussing the third pāda of the Atma, Brahman, that is which is the cause for the Jagat. Third pāda indicates a Īśvara, Prāgya, which is the cause. And in that, several other philosophers' view also have been taken here into consideration, and for the sake of refuting. So basically, two things are there. The creation has been narrated here, and either what is the purpose of the creation, that's a question in the world, and on what is the cause of the creation. So this up to 43, first line, up to Karika 8, that is indicating various causes for the creation. What are the different views regarding the cause of the creation? That is just brought. Actually, in chapter 2, that will be a much more detail about all this. All have been brought and then they have been refuted. But here it has been just mentioned because we are in the third pada of the Atma, which is the cause. The Īśvara or a Prāgya. And the ninth Karika talks about the various views regarding the purpose of the creation. That is also there. Most of the people ask this: what is the purpose of this creation? Why Bhagavan created this? So they take the Bhagavan as a cause. But earlier, now we are discussing what is the cause for the creation, either for the Īśvara or without that, what is the cause, etc. So it says here, Ichha matram prabho srushtihi iti sruštau vinishchitaha srushti chintakaha. So all this, there are philosophers who claim that creation Of course, when they say the creation, when they talk about creation, they take it as a real creation. And there is a real creation by Īśvara. And what they say, Ichcha matram prabhoho. Prabhoho ichcha matram. Srushtihi. So, Bhagavan creates this world out of his saṅkalpa, bas. Saṅkalpa matram. And that's how Bhashyakara says, Ichcha matram. You can see in the page, line number 6 on the page 42. Ichcha matram prabhoho satyasaṅkalpatvat. So, Ichcha matram. Ichcha means saṅkalpa, desire. So, Bhagavan creates this prabhoho, Ichcha matram. So, there is a desire, just desire on the part of the creation, there is a desire on the part of the Īśvara to create, and there is a creation. That's it. Satyasaṅkalpatvat. So, means whose saṅkalpa will never be falsified. As he desires, there is a creation. So, being satyasaṅkalpa, he alone creates srushti. And it says here, Bhashyakara says, Gatadihi saṅkalpana matram na saṅkalpa anatiriktam. Everything, Gatadihi, pot, etc. Means a whole creation. Saṅkalpana matram, nothing is involved other than the will or saṅkalpa or desire on the part of Īśvara. Nothing else. No raw material. Means by mere saṅkalpa he can project. This is a view of some people. So, means creation is real. Because Īśvara's saṅkalpa is mithya. No, we cannot say that. Right? And therefore, this is not our view. We have seen now very well, in a potential state called Maya, or this in a manifest state called world, it is mithya. Mithya is which is not available for any category. Non-existent, existent, etc. we cannot say. But here, if it is Īśvara's saṅkalpa, then definitely we cannot call the creation as mithya. Īśvara's saṅkalpa is satyam, therefore the satyasaṅkalpa is this creation which is mithya. What is that? And therefore, this is also just is narrated here like that. And there are several things regarding that. So, this particular thing, that by Īśvara's will alone, there is no other raw material involved, Īśvara's will alone has come into this form, and his will can never be falsified, satyasaṅkalpa. So, what happens is, even if it is a satyasaṅkalpa means what? The thing which was there, as you desire, it manifests in front of you, right? The thing which was there, like suppose, just think for a moment, I am a satyasaṅkalpa. My will or desire never gets falsified, suppose. And I desire. If I desire, means what? What will I desire? The thing which was there and which is known to me, right? A thing which is totally unknown, which was not there, I don't desire. And therefore, definitely, even Īśvara's saṅkalpa alone is in the form of this creation. His will alone is which can never be falsified. That his will alone is manifesting in the form of creation. Then this creation should have been there. That's how he desired that, and his desire can never be falsified, so it has manifested. Means the creation was there, that alone he just desired. In that case, if creation was already there, then how Bhagavan became a creator of the universe? Because creation was already there. So this thing doesn't look good. Satyasaṅkalpa, etc. We are just seeing a little fault. What is the fault? The detail we are going to discuss in chapter 2, but just for the sake of knowing. And moreover, Sometimes, suppose you say, no, Swamiji, I desire something which is not there at all. Like, then can you desire, well, you are satyasaṅkalpa, your will is never falsified, desire is not falsified. Can you desire a square circle? Can you desire? You cannot desire a square circle. So basically, it is, so even if, suppose you are a satyasaṅkalpa, etc., but whatever you desire will definitely manifest, that would not be. There are certain rules in that. So, just by desire, the whole creation comes out, that doesn't look proper. In fact, you desire, we used to, in mathematics, we used to learn that 1 raised to 30 means 1 into 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 1, 30 times. So 1 into 1 into 1 into 1. I want 1 raised to 30 is equal to 30. I desire. No. Still it is 1 only. My point is, as you desire, it will become like that. Even if you are satyasaṅkalpa, suppose my will never be falsified, then I will desire 1 raised to 30 is equal to 30. No, it will not happen. Could you follow what I am saying? So even in the part of a Īśvara also, if he desires something, means desire always is pertaining, desire precedes a thing which is known to you. On the part of Īśvara, let's say, Īśvara just desired, and his will can never be falsified, and therefore he desired the creation, but then his desire has a basis in the knowledge of that creation. So that knowledge was there before, means creation was there before. Then in that case, how Īśvara is called the creator? Because creation was already there, etc., etc. And second thing, as we Gatadihi, etc. So just by desire you create everything. Then what's the example? What's the example for you say Īśvara just desired. His will can never be falsified, and therefore his will is just manifested in the form of creation. Correct. Okay. What is the example? Well, pot, etc. Pot is created by a pot maker. He has a desire, of course. But mere desire cannot create the pot. He needs a lot of things other than his desire. His desire is one of the cause. And therefore, so if you say Īśvara's will only is manifested in the form of this creation, and Īśvara is a satyasaṅkalpa, etc., then but you don't find any example. And if you don't find any example, then what you say about Lord, all this, that his will never is falsified, his will alone manifests in the form of creation, etc., it becomes simply a blind belief. So this particular view is a blind belief. If you want to say, no, it is true, then you have to give example. You have to give example that somebody here in this world has done satyasaṅkalpa, he is satyasaṅkalpa, and his saṅkalpa alone has manifested in the form of a particular thing. You have to give example. If you don't give example, then you are simply believing that the Lord is like that. So that becomes a blind belief. I am refuting momentarily like that. So this is how it has been said. The second is Kālat prasutihi Kālachin. Kālat prasutim bhūtānam. Bhūtānam prasutihi. All these beings and things are created, well, in the time. So Kāla means nature. They are all nature-vadis. So they say world has always been there. And it keeps coming back again and again. It's a cycle. Nature in time brings about changes in one form or the other. So therefore, this is Kāla-chintakaha, nature. This is how it is. So it just manifests. Evolution theory. we can say that. Darwin's evolution theory, etc. The modern science, they will not accept the Īśvara naturally. And therefore, they use this Darwin theory of creation, say, well, all the matter, etc., of all the galaxies, well, they come, all these things in the creation has come out of the matter. Consciousness is, of course, generated as the life manifest, and therefore, all because of what? Kāla tattva. In course of time, this has just happened. That's it, nothing else. And we also are like that. Sometimes we say, oh, what is, this, look at this situation in the world now. Look at the situation of our country. Well, this is a time, bad time. So, or somebody has really gained a lot of popularity and all that, and he has become a very proud and all that. Well, we say, this is his time right now. He will also fall. So we also refer sometime like that. That this is his time, this is bad time, this is how it is, etc., etc. That will go away. So Kala is a cause of the creation, or even the evolution theory, you can say. Iti kechit. So Bhashyakara said that. Bhashyami, in that it says, Ichha matram prabhoho satyasaṅkalpa-based srushtihi gatadihi saṅkalpana matram na saṅkalpa anatiriktam. Other than na saṅkalpana atiriktam. I'm sorry. Na saṅkalpana atiriktam. Other than the saṅkalpa, there is no raw material involved. Just desire, because he is satyasaṅkalpa. His will, desire can never be falsified. And this Bhashyakara says, Kāla-deva srushtihi iti kechit. He doesn't even, give a commentary on that. Kāla-deva, just because of the time, just the nature, just manifest like that. It's a cycle, it keeps coming like that. So because they are generally a view of a scientist, and they will not accept Īśvara as a cause of the creation. So they will say nature, time, etc. Then further. Means, when you say Kala is the cause of the creation, etc., so then you need not talk about the purpose of the creation. If you say, this is very smart way of doing. When you say this is how it is, this is just time. In time everything comes and goes, and again it comes. Then you save yourself from a big question. What is the question? Why this is created? Will not, because this is how the nature is. It just manifests. But if you say Bhagavan has created this, why he created it, that will come. So that way, this nature-vadis, they need not talk about the purpose of the creation, because there is no sentient being involved, and matter is involved, and you cannot ask the matter why you are creating like that, and therefore, so definitely matter just manifests like that. Means definitely there is no purpose involved on the part of matter. Either it has come from Big Bang or anything. Even before Big Bang also, they say there is a singularity about which we are not able to talk anything. There is a intense gravity, etc. The time and space also was totally curved, which is it is about that singularity we cannot talk about anything, etc., etc. So anyway, so this is how they say. But this is how a Big Bang happened. Why it happened, they cannot. The scientists will not talk about why. Scientists will talk about how. That is the job of science. How it happened. But why a Big Bang? That they cannot say. Because there is a singularity for which they don't know anything. They believe that there was everything, was all the forces were just unmanifest and all that. Anyway, so point is basically when you say matter is evolved like that, etc., I mean, you need not talk about the purpose, etc. So it's a random accident kind of a thing. Accidentally everything came. Random theory of evolution. Anyway, now let's go to page 43, number 9. Bhogartham srushtirithanye क्रीडार्थमिति चापरे देवस्य एष स्वभावोऽयम् आप्तकामस्य का स्पृहा. So, Bhogartham srushti iti anye kridartham cha iti apare. Let's go to Bhashya. Bhogartham kridartham iti cha anye srushtim manyante. Anayoho pakshayoho dushanam devasya esha svabhavah ayam iti devasya svabhava paksham ashritya sarvesham va apakshanam apta kamasya ka spruha iti nahi rajvadinam avidya svabhava vyatirekena sarpadi abhasatve karanam shakyam vaktum. So, prayojanam. What is the purpose of the creation? Earlier we talked about cause of the creation. Time is a cause of the creation, and then, well, ichha matram. So, and before that, it is just the Īśvara's glory. All this creation is nothing but the glory of Īśvara. So that way indicating cause. Or prasavam, we said, prasutim. Means it's just Īśvara expanded, like a seed expands into a form of a tree. So, seed bulges and then manifest in the form of a tree. Same way Īśvara has expanded in the form of a whole creation. That way we saw all this cause of the creation, various causes of the creation. Now this particular Karika, this verse, indicating, and especially the first line, indicates the purpose of creation. There are people who believe that this is the purpose of the creation. What is this said here? Well, Bhogartham, Īśvara wanted to enjoy. Īśvara wanted to enjoy, and therefore he created everything for his own enjoyment. And he was bored with himself, so he created. Then second is Kridartham. Īśvara wanted to have some fun. Leela. This is a very, very, very well-known word. So that is Brahma Sutra also. I will talk about it. So Īśvara wanted to have some fun. That's just sporting. Not that he wanted to enjoy the objects, but he just wanted to sport. And therefore it is a Leela Srushti. So iti anye srushtim manyante. So this is how people, there are others who believe that it is meant for a Leela. Others say, well, it is meant for Īśvara's own enjoyment, etc. So different views. Anayoho pakshayoho, Bhashakara says, Anayoho pakshayoho dushanam. Both these theories are faulty. Why? That will be the second line of that Karika, which he will explain. But he first says both these paksha are defective. Therefore they should be negated. Bhagavan wants enjoyment, etc. Bhagavan wants to sport. Both of them are negated by the second line of the Karika. What is that? Devasya esha svabhavah ayam. Apta kamasya ka spruha. So apta kamasya, devasya esha svabhavah will take later. Apta kamasya ka spruha is the refutation for these two paksha. So apta kamasya. Apta means basically kama which is apta, prāgya. He has fulfilled all desires. Means he sees himself a fulfilled person. He sees himself fulfilled. He sees himself as a nature of satisfaction. He sees himself as a nature of ananda, fullness, purnaha. Well, in that case, why should he create something for his own enjoyment? So first paksha gone, bhogartham. And second thing is leelartham also. No, he wants to sport. If he wants to sport, he wants to have some fun. That also indicates he is not happy with himself. That is not possible because he is aptakamaha. And then he is purnaha, purnamadav, purnamidam. And therefore, well, definitely, both this paksha indicate that Īśvara is not happy or fulfilled within himself. Therefore, he requires some external enjoyments, or he requires external fun, Leela, etc. So that is not correct. That both the pakshas therefore are very defective. Bhashyakara says something more. What he says further, you see, anayoho pakshayoho dushanam. That is over. Devasya esha svabhavoyam iti devasya svabhava paksham ashritya sarvesham va pakshanam apta kamasya ka spruha iti. So iti devasya svabhava paksham ashritya. We are saying devasya, our answer is ultimately apta kamasya ka spruha. Spruha means a desire, How can a desire be there in a entity, in a conscious being who sees himself full being? Fullness is there, satisfaction is there. He sees himself as a limitless being. How can he will have a desire for enjoyment externally? How can he will have a desire just to sport externally? And therefore, these two theories are gone by the word apta kamasya ka spruha. And then Shankaracharya gives another interpretation. The expression apta kamasya ka spruha, where is desire for Īśvara. So he says here, other pakshas, sarvesham va pakshanam. For all these pakshas, other than these two, what are they? Earlier we have already seen, and that is ichha matram. Ishwara's desire, satyasaṅkalpa, and his desire alone manifest, or vibhutim. Īśvara is all this whole creation is Īśvara's glory. So Īśvara manifested in the form of his vibhuti is called creation. Īśvara has bulged into, Īśvara has just expanded into the form of the creation. All this, all sarvesham va pakshanam va. Either we refute these two pakshas, bhogartham, leelartham, etc., or we are refuting all others. Bhashyakara gives another interpretation also. All the theories are refuted by this one question, apta kamasya ka spruha. Where this, where this desire will be, how can Bhagavan will have a desire to create something in form of even glories, or in form of expanding himself, or in the form of being satyasaṅkalpa, he wants to create, or bhogartham, or leelartham. Nothing is possible. If Bhagavan is basically apta kama, he will not have any desire to create. He will not be such for that. Or in short, none of them are acceptable. Then what is our view? Well, our view is now said, devasya esha svabhavaha ayam. So basically, Īśvara has never created a universe. That's our paksha. He has never created a universe because creation is in the form of Maya. Maya means mithya. That is the meaning of the word svabhava. So word svabhava is a very significant word which can be roughly translated as mithya. Devasya, brahmanaha. This is the svabhava. This is the basically this is a maya of the Īśvara, we can say, devasya, which is non-separate from Brahman, Īśvara. So therefore the world cannot be counted as number two, other than Īśvara, other than Brahman, because of its non-separate from Brahman. So existence of the world basically does not belong to the world, it is mithya. So it belongs to Brahman only. So just as you cannot count pot as a separate entity from the clay, well, we have just two words but only one thing. And so here also the whole creation, which is the mithya, which is non-separate from Brahman, cannot be counted as another entity. When you are talking about creation and trying to find out the cause of it, well, at the time in your mind, well, it is You take the creation as something which is real, but it is not real. The whole creation is nothing but a svabhava, mithya or maya of Brahman, Devasya. So here we should remember two words. One is called a Svarūpa and other is called a Svabhāva. So the difference between two words, the meaning of it, the difference in meaning between of these two words is that Sat or Chit is a Svarūpa of Brahman, and which is Paramaರ್ಥik Satyam, which is the truth of it, truth of the Brahman. Or Ananda is a Svarūpa of Brahman, you can say. Fullness, limitlessness. And Svabhāva of this Brahman, Devasya Svabhāva, Ayam. So, Svabhāva means which is Maya, which is Mithya, or which is Vyavarika Satyam. And being a Vyavarika Satyam, the world, the so-called creation, Vyavarika Satyam, it is non-separate from Brahman. And therefore, Eshaha, Devasya Eshaha Svabhāva, Eshaha. This means this prapancha, this creation, Sushtihi, Devasya of Deva of the Brahman, well, Svabhāva. This is just a non-separate from Deva, Brahman. And that is why Brahman alone pervades. Brahman alone is the truth. Brahman alone is the content. Brahman alone is the Atma of any name and form. Any name and form. And that is why creation is non-separate from that. That is called Svabhāva, Maya, Mithya. So this is how we have to say. The Svarūpa of Brahman, which is eternal, non-changeably eternal, and this Maya, the Svabhāva of Brahman is changingly eternal. Brahman is Kutastha Nityam by Svarūpa. Brahman is Parinami Nityam by Svabhāva. So since Maya is a Parinami Nityam, well, definitely it will never be the same all the time. It will gradually change into Panchabhutas and then elementals, and from elementals again to elements, and from elements again to ultimately Maya, and then from Maya again elements, and then elemental. This is the going on. So it will change into various. This is how it happens. This is the Svabhāva of the Brahman. And not only that, that is the Srushti and so-called Srushti and Pralaya, etc. Pralaya means where it becomes unmanifest, potential. Then it again manifests. That's so Parinamnityam. So Brahman's Svabhāva is like this. Brahman's Svabhāva is Maya, Mithya, changingly eternal, and Brahman's Svarūpa of the Brahman is Kutastha Nityam, changelessly eternal. And karma also integral part of the Maya. So when did karma begin? Everything is ultimately beginningless. Right? Svabhāva is beginningless. Maya is beginningless. Creation, beginningless. Then within creation, Jiva, beginningless, naturally. And the karmas, beginningless. Everything beginningless. Jiva, beginningless. His karmas, beginningless. Creation, beginningless. This is the Svabhāva of Brahman, changelessly eternal. And therefore, Maya at any time will have infinite karmas, influencing, well, basically, its modification. And therefore, so Maya is Anādi, creation is Anādi, you can say, Jiva is Anādi, karmas are Anādi. Now, the Anādi, we should understand this word Anādi. So, when we say this is a Maya or Mithya, and then we say, we further explain that, which is Anādi and which is śānta, which is beginningless and at the same time which ends, is Mithya, which is beginningless and which is endless, which doesn't come to an end. That is the Svarūpa of Brahman, changelessly eternal. And here this Maya, the Svabhāva of a Brahman is, which is beginningless and which comes to an end. But Swamiji, if you say comes to an end, before that you said it is changelessly eternal, you said. I am coming to that. Okay. What is Anādi? Beginningless. Means what? Beginningless means what? Less. Means it has no beginning. Right? Beginningless, when you say, we should understand what? It has no beginning. Means people generally translate Anādi as what? Beginninglessly existing. The people say also, it exists from beginningless time. What is beginningless time? What is beginningless time? So it doesn't give any idea. In fact, Anādi means which has no beginning, and anything which is created has a beginning. If Maya, etc., Jiva, the Svabhāva of a Brahman, is beginningless, means it is not created. If it is not created, it is really not there. And so, Anādi means whose beginning cannot be talked about, because on inquiry you find that it is not there. If it has a beginning, it must be there. Anything which has a beginning, which is created, must be there. It may go away later, that's a different thing. But if it is created, it should be there. And therefore, Anādi, beginningless, means no beginning, means on inquiry you experience it, but on inquiry you find it is not there. If it is not there, means it is not at all created at all. So this is how Anādi. Now, it comes to an end, right? I can give example also, don't worry about it. You may be tired of hearing my example, that's how I am not giving example. I am giving you certain abstract idea. Śānta. Śānta means antena saha vartate. It is śānta. Not śānta, peace, etc. Śānta, dental. Antena saha vartate, which has an end. Which is beginningless, which has an end. Naturally, it ends. What is the end? Your own understanding of the fact that there was no creation. That's it. Example, give example. Our rope snake, very good rope snake. The snake has not begun in your presence. Earlier you saw rope, and now snake has begun. No, it doesn't happen. As you see snake. Snake is beginningless. But on inquiry, you find that it disappears. Therefore, really snake is not created. Therefore, it is no beginning. Therefore, it is beginningless. Clear? And on inquiry, if it disappears, that shows what? Your understanding. You understand of the fact that there was no snake at all. When you understand that there was no snake at all, that's called end of the snake. Or there is no snake, there was no snake, there is no snake at all. Suppose you understand that there is no snake at all, that has the end of the snake. Clear? So this is how any mithya thing falls into this category, like a mithya sarpa on Rajju. Whole thing. Sarpa is Anādi, because as you see snake. Therefore, there is no real snake. Really, it is not there at all. So basically, on inquiry, it disappears Therefore it was not created at all. Created means it should be there. From rope, suppose snake is created, then it should be there. You may kill it and then it's a different thing. But on inquiry you find it disappears, or it was not there. If it was not there, therefore it has no beginning. That's Anādi. So this is how the Devasya Svabhāva, the Maya of the Deva, the Brahman, is like this, which is Anādi, but which comes to an end. Means Maya comes to an end, and Maya means this creation, manifest. That is a potential state. Means as you know that you are Brahman, you know the Svarūpa of Brahman is oneself, Satchidananda, fullness. This creation, the Maya ends? No. No. Then you said śānta. You said it comes to an end. Yeah. Here our end is not physical end. Basically, our end is what? Falsification of the Maya. Maya does not have a physical end. It will always be with Brahman as mithya, non-separate from Brahman. Understand, if I say it is there in Brahman, another issue. Therefore, Brahman is there, Maya is there. Two things are there. Then the whole Vedanta goes into dustbin. So it is non-separate from Brahman. Maya itself derives existence from Brahman. Mithya, non-separate always. We cannot count as a second entity. Such a Maya manifest in the form of this manifest world also is non-separate from Brahman, because it is only what was potentially there, which is non-separate from Brahman, alone manifest as the creation. Therefore, yet right now also it is non-separate from Brahman. Or else I can say, well, that this creation is Brahman. I can say that. Why not? Because non-separate means what? Same thing. Pot is non-separate from the clay means what? Clay lends existence or pot derives existence, therefore non-separate, mithya. Then I can say pot is clay. Same with the whole creation is Brahman. Could you follow? And therefore, where is creation? Where is creation? Therefore, this is how we have to understand. When you say all that is here is Brahman, when you say all that is here is Brahman, seeing that and pointing out there, when you say all that is here is Brahman, you have as though destroyed Maya. Creation. Means what? Falsified. That's an end. Not physical end. Not physical end. As if you have killed everything, destroyed everything. No. So it is falsification. In Vedanta, basically the destruction is nothing but the falsification, including even Jiva. Yeah. The very sense of individuality, the Vishwa Tejasa Prāgya, Jiva, Ahankara, is falsified, not destroyed. There is no destruction. You understand that the Ahankara is false. That's it. Mithya. That is the thing. That is how that's how I said Ahankara is a part of Īśvara Srushti. Ahankara, the Karta Bhokta, it should be there. Because the Jivan Mukta will have to experience the Prārabdha. Therefore, Ahankara should be there. Ahankara, which is Karta Bhokta, alone has a Prārabdha. Therefore, Ahankara is destroyed, become non-existent. There's nothing like that. Anyway, so after knowledge also, the world continued to appear. The Jiva continued to appear. The subject-object continued to appear. Interaction also will be there. Everything will be there. Pashyan, Shrunvan, Spushan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Swapan, Shvasan, Pralapan, Unmishan, Nimishan. Naiva kinchit karogiti. Iti yuktaha manyete tattvavit. All thing continues. All Vyavahara continues. Yeah. You won't claim that I am a Jiva. That's it. When you understand a common adhishthanam for Jiva and Jagat, subject-object, well, the subject-object automatically becomes Adhyaropa. mithya. So, this is how we have to understand śānta. The Maya has become śānta, which was Anādi has become śānta. The karmas and everything has become śānta, become mithya. The account holder is mithya, therefore all the karmas etc. become mithya. Sarvam karma khilam partha jnane parisamapyate. Jnanagni sarva karmani daktham. Physically you can understand very well. Physically you cannot bring an end of the world. Nobody can do that. You have understood. Figuratively you can say you have brought an end of the world, end of the Maya. So Maya we understand as that it doesn't have a existence of its own, or world does not have an existence of its own. That's how Vidyaranya beautifully defines in a Panchadashi that this destruction is a mithyatva nishchaya. That appearance etc. continue. That is what the mithya. Otherwise it becomes shunyam, right? It becomes shunyam then otherwise. But it's not. Mithya means a continued appearance, seemingly existent. You have understood that it is seemingly existent. It was a fact. But you have understood now. Earlier you were thinking you are ahankara, the subject, and the world is different from you, has the same order of reality, there is a Advaitam between subject-object and all that. Not understanding the common adhishthanam, the reality between the two, subject-object. That's how it is. And so this world or Maya, well, is devasya svabhāva. That is the svabhāva of the Brahman or Īśvara. And then Bhashyakara says further, Nahi, he says, Nahi Rajvadi, Nahi Rajvadinam, the last part left in this Karika. Bhashyakara says, Nahi Rajvadinam Avidyā svabhāva vyatirekena sarpadi abhasatve karanam shakyam bhaktum. You can see that line on page 43 in Bhashyam in the second line. Nahi rajvadinam avidyā svabhāva vyatirekena sarpadi abhasatve karanam shakyam bhaktum. So there is no way. He is giving example. What we have explained, well, that is with the help of example. So there is no way for the rope to appear in the form of the snake without a cause. Avidyā-svabhāva. So for a mithya snake, there should be something. And what is that? Avidya is a svabhāva. And the karya, well, basically the srushti being mithya, the karanam also should be mithya. So Avidyā-svabhāva. So we should understand the, here now the question is, Swamiji, if a person is basically, what is the Jiva-svabhāva? Well, Jiva-svabhāva, Īśvara-svabhāva is a Maya. What is Jiva-svabhāva, Swamiji? Jiva-swarupa is Sachidananda, Īśvara-swarupa is Sachidananda. But Swamiji, Īśvara-svabhāva you said Maya, which manifests in the form of Jagat. So Īśvara's svabhāva is this creation, mithya. Same way, what is Jiva-svabhāva? Jiva-swarupa Sachidananda, that's fine. But what is Jiva-svabhāva? Avidyā. So Jiva-svabhāva is basically Avidyā, Ajnānam. But Swamiji, if Jiva comes to know that he is Sachidananda, then what is his svabhāva? Now Avidyā has gone. Ajnānam has gone. Then what is the svabhāva of a Jnāni? Jiva. He is no more Ajnāni. He says, I am by Svarūpa, I am Sachidananda. That's fine. Īśvara says, I am by Svarūpa, I am Sachidananda. My svabhāva is this creation, mithya. So, what is the svabhāva of the Jnāni? Svabhāva of the Jnāni is a Prārabdha karma. Suppose there is a Jivan Mukta, well, who has got rid of this Ajnānam by Jnānam, then now who is very clear that I am Purna, Aptakama, etc. Like the Īśvara who is Aptakama. So this also says I am Aptakama, Sachidananda. And if that person is active in the world, well, like Bhagavan, like Shankaracharya, all that you know, and then they are active in the world due to Svabhāva. What is the Svabhāva of the Jivan Mukta? What is Svabhāva of that Krishna as Avatara or Rama as Avatara? Because they are very active, right? Then their Svabhāva, here in our case, in the case of a Jnani, Avatara there is no Prārabdha karma, but here in our case, well, it is basically Prārabdha karma. So Jnani's Svabhāva is a Prārabdha karma. Ajnani Jiva's Svabhāva is a Ajnanam. Ajnani Jiva by Svarūpa Sachidananda. Īśvara also is by Sachidananda Svarūpa. Īśvara's Svabhāva is this Maya in form of creation, Mithya. But Jiva's Svabhāva is Ajnanam. But if Ajnanam goes away by Jnanam, then Jnani's Svabhāva is, well, Prārabdha karma. So that due to Prārabdha karmas, well, he has a lot of activities. That's how they say Prārabdhaya samarpitam tava. Basically, he is totally a part of Īśvara Srishti, and as Prārabdha unfolds, he becomes active in the world. He is teaching in his own way, he can sit and be happy, etc. That is his teaching. So his Svabhāva is Prārabdha. So where is this Ichha? Where is this Bhogartham Ichha? And where is this Leela and all that? So this is, both are negated here. Anyway, and now we will be going to 7th mantra. And that is on page number 46. Afterward we will come to that Bhashyam, introductory Bhashyam of that 7th mantra. Later, first we will read this. Nāntah prajñam na bahish prajñam, no bhaitah prajñam na prajñāna ganam, na prajñam na prajñam, adrishtam avyavaryam agrahyam alakshanam achintyam, अव्यपदेशम एकात्म प्रत्ययसारम प्रपंचोपशमम शांतं शिवम अद्वैतम चतुर्थम मन्यन्ते स आत्मा स विज्ञेयः. You can understand very well. Now this is a apavada. Earlier 3 padas were adhyaropa. On what? When you do adhyaropa, there should be adhisthana, otherwise you cannot do adhyaropa. When you superimpose something, you say, then there must be something on which you superimpose. Therefore, all the 3 padas, the first pada of the Atma called Vishwa and Virat, the second pada of the Atma that we call as a Taijasa Hiranyagarbha, and the third pada of the Atma we call Prāgya and Īśvara. Well, basically by that, we covered entire world, gross body, and identifying with consciousness, of course. Because when you do adhyaropa, then definitely you are adding these things on a consciousness, Atma, Adhishthanam. And therefore, well, so the first pada of Atma will automatically become a waker consciousness or the cosmic being as such, right? So, Virat. And like that, there will be a Taijasa and so Prāgya, dreamer, etc. and all that. So, these are all basically, we did a adhyaropa of a gross world and gross body and subtle world, subtle body and etc. etc. So that's adhyaropa. That should be negated ultimately. So the whole world is negated. If you see here, the nature of Atma is revealed as by negation, total negation, and that we will be seeing the reason, and Bhashyakara himself is going to give a reason Why whole thing is negation? Nanta pragnam, na bahish pragnam, na ubhayata pragnam, no, 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 no. So this is what has been said here. And by Apavada we reveal the Chaturtha Pada, you know very well now. The third Pada we already talked, which is we can say even a Karya and Karana, naturally. The first and second is a Karya Pada. The third Pada we saw right now also is a Karana Pada, Prāgya and Īśvara. And fourth, the Atma's real nature means what? Karya Karana Vilakshana, which is distinct from Karyam and Karana. It is not a Karyam, it is not a Karanam. It is not a cause of everything, not a cause of anything, it is not an effect of anything. It is what it is. That's it. It is. All that is there is it is. It also is not good, but I am putting. Or he is. All that is there is he is. All that is here is Ishwara, etc. they say. But anyway, so Bhashyakara introduces this here, this particular mantra in page 44, the first line. Chaturthaha padaha kramapraptaha vaktavyah iti aha na antah pragnam ityadina sarvashabda pravritti nimitta shunyatvat tasya shabda anabhideyatvam iti vishesha pratishedena evacha turiyam nirdidakshati. Chaturtha pada of Turiya pada, Karya Karana Vilakshana. Turiya, Chaturiya. So Chakara has gone by Panini Sutra. That's all Turiyam, the fourth pada, which is really not a fourth, because it was already there in all the three as Adhisthana. There cannot be Adhyaropa without Adhisthana, so it was there. When you say Vishwa, definitely there is a waker consciousness. When you say dreamer, Antah Pragnam, well, it is a internal consciousness. And Prajnana Ganam, etc., deep sleeper consciousness. So without Adhishthanam, there cannot be Adhyaropa anyway. So now just consciousness, all are negated. Why they are negated, and why, the negation in which way helps, etc., is being explained by Bhashyakara very well. So Chaturtha Padaha Krama Praptaha, this fourth pada of the Atma, Turiya, etc., Krama Praptaha, which has come sequentially. Naturally, first three padas should be talked about. In the first 6 mantras, it has been talked about. Now, 7th mantra talks about the fourth pada. So, it has come sequentially. So, Vaktavya means it should be told. It should be revealed. The Chaturtha pada of the Atma should be revealed. That is where knowing that only there will be free from samsara. Anyway, so Upanishad has to talk about it. So Chaturtha padaha krama praptaha vaktavyah iti aha. Therefore, Upanishad reveals it. Upanishad defines it. And how does it define? Na antah pragnam, na bahish pragnam, etc. Ityadina. Means the mantra begins with na antah pragnam, na, etc. etc. In that manner, it defines the Turiya. And and it does not do positively, it does do negatively. There are two ways to be talked about. There are two ways Upanishad talks. Vidhimukhena, Nishedhamukhena. And here it is Nishedhamukhena, by way of negating everything which Atma is not. Exactly like Nirvana Shatkam. So, right? Manobuddhi ahankara chittani naham. Nacha shrotra jihve, nacha grana netre, nacha vyoma bhumi, nacha na tejoho, na vayu. All negation. In Atma Shatakam or in Nirvana Shatakam, the first 3 lines in all the 6 verses is negation. Negation of what? What I am not. Here also, negation. I am not Bahish Pragnam. I am not waker. Why you should be negated? Because you take yourself to be a waker. It's a reality. Therefore, it should be negated. Unless you are negated, well, how will you take yourself to be really who you are? And therefore, it should be told. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ